Hello everybody, this is Mariana. I'm going to do a new reading today. It's for the new moon. It's in the sign of Taurus, happening now, depending where you are in the world, but around the 19th of May 2023. So we have a new moon. So new moons can be about new manifestations, something new you want to try to allow into your life, perhaps, a new beginning of something. And a new moon is perfect for that. It's where you could say, send out something to the universe, trying to create something new in your life. There are different rituals for this. Personally, there can be a lot of stuff that people say you need to have to do something right. Personally, I don't believe that. I remember once someone told me there's only one way to make a prayer to God, for instance. So you have to do it in a certain way. And it kind of just threw me back, like, but if God is benevolent and he listens to all his children, how come my way of praying cannot be accommodated? I don't believe in any kind of that it has to be in a certain way. But this idea that something has to be in a certain way, it comes from the way we have been raised. Like, to achieve something, there usually is some kind of plan. You have to go through certain steps. You have to take this education to get this job and so on. It's a man-made thing. I don't believe in that. Personally, for a new moon reading, I sit down, I take a piece of paper, I write in the top of it, new moon manifestation, the date, and then I write some bullets down there. I write always in first tense. I am whatever you want to, or I have, I am or I have. I have achieved my goal of this and that. I have, I don't know what's in you. I have a new boyfriend, right? I have, I not just a boyfriend, right? I have a new loving relationship. I have new best friends. I have achieved the goal of such and such an income, or whatever. You can put anything out there in first tense. At the bottom, I write a thank you to the universe for allowing me to align with this frequency. And I thank my angels, my guides, for their assistance. That's it. Then I make a fire ritual. I set my intentions on sending this towards the new moon, towards that creative new void, you could say, of new beginnings. And I burn the paper. And thank the universe. That is actually what I do. I don't have, it has to be this candle, and it has to be with Epsom salt, or it has to be with all, I don't know, incense, and you can do that, of course, but I don't do that. Personally, I actually, every time people tell me that you have to do it in a certain way, otherwise it's not working, it repels me. Like, I don't believe in that personally. But you can look up any kind of new moon ritual online. There are probably many who will tell you what to do. The point of burning the paper is to let go of what it is you are sending. You're sending it to the universe. If you keep attached to it, the universe, you could say, has no free space to work in. The more you cling to it, the more like difficult it is to bring it towards you. And again, if you are asking for like major changes in your life, I want to be a millionaire, I am a millionaire, for instance, or I am a billionaire, right? It may take a while for some of this to come in, and we may lose faith in it, right? Because, well, it's not coming. Where is it, right? You have to trust the process and then send it out there. And the universe is probably going to give you certain options along the way. And whether you take them or not is up to you. If you take some of these new steps, you can align yourself more and more with what it is you actually was trying to manifest. But if you're not taking the steps, you're blocking that energy for some kind of reason. So the choices will be there, but are you taking them? That is again because you have free will, so you can do what you want. Anyway, but that's just a little bit about the new moon. And again, I want to say it's easy to have superficial wishes for a new moon. I want to be a millionaire, I want to have such and such a boyfriend, and even name it, right? I want to own this, I want to have this, I want, or I am in this relationship, I have this, I have achieved this, but I would say go a little bit deeper with this, sit with it in your heart space and really tune into what it is that actually matters most. The new job. Why is it that you want that job? Is it because you are actually seeking recognition? Is it because you hope to belong to a certain group? And if so, why? You know, like maybe go a little bit deeper with your... And is it actually the money you want? It's nice to be a billionaire, but what does it give you? What freedom is it freedom that you want? Because then it's freedom you should ask for, right? It's not the billionaire thing then. Freedom can come in many forms. You understand, like, if it's freedom, the ability to choose freely what you want to do with your life, then that is what you should ask for. That is what you should try to manifest. So just think about that. So when I sat down here to do this new moon reading, I had a very strong feeling of roots. Taurus, and the new moon here is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the second house in astrology. It's about money, safety, value. We could say confidence, perhaps. We could say something that is solid and reliable. It can be work-oriented. But you see, there's this theme or this touch to this new moon about work, perhaps, education. I believe education is an investment into work or into the role in society or something. But in the second house, for me, there is also this, some call it a money barometer or a money limit, or a living standard limit somehow. How do you see yours, right? Do you identify with being a worker in a factory, for instance? And having that job would be good for you, right? That you feel you belong there, that level of salary, that expectation of life standard is something you identify with. Or do you have a set of standard that is, I want to be a top engineer, right? I want to have that salary, I want to have that status, that identity, that image or something. Or I want to be a successful CEO. That is my primary goal within a certain industry, perhaps, or because that's what I identify with. And this identification, it comes from somewhere. That is our roots. And somehow I feel like this new moon is here to question those roots and to allow us to maybe send out new ones, right, with the new moon, that you can actually make new steps, right? You could identify with something else. But usually we don't, right? Because we come from a certain set of characteristics in the family we grew up in, or in the world. And somehow we level with that. We level with the way, and we don't really set our expectations higher than that, unless we are doing shadow work and unless we are becoming very aware of this money barometer living standard is usually quite subconscious, actually. It's just kind of there, and we are not necessarily identifying with something more than that. And I'm literally not saying that the top engineer CSO is what you should strive for. It because there's more money here. It's important to figure out, what is it that you think you can achieve by being the CEO? This is the thing. Is it to have a lot of responsibility, to be a leader, to be someone in charge? Is that the primary goal? Or is it because you think that you can have freedom there? That nobody can rule over you, right? That you are the top, right? That nobody can set standards for you? Or is it because you think the money you gain from the job is now allowing you to live wherever you want? Have a private jet, you can have vacation wherever you want? Because then I would say it's probably not the CEO job you're looking for. You're looking for freedom, in whatever form that is, right? And usually we connect freedom with money. That is a thing in our society, that you can't have the freedom to choose if you don't have enough money. You can't even have your basic needs met if you don't have any money, right? So from basic needs to top standard luxury living, you need money. That is the way of the third dimension. You cannot live here, survive here, unless you do have money. And therefore we need to work. There's this understanding, right? And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm part of it too. It's just, what is it that you're looking for? And the roots you come from, they have probably set out a standard somehow. And I'm just saying that the standard can be taken up for review. You can look through your life and your life choices and the jobs you've had, the education you have. You can look through that, and then you can make a stance. Am I satisfied with this? Do I feel I have that freedom, or that I can choose, I have choices? Or do I feel like I'm kind of locked in a situation or something? What if there is another way, right? What if there's and again, when you send it to the universe is bringing you in choices that can get you there, but it may not be what you had expected. It may not be in that form, right? So sometimes we really have to keep an open mind. Usually we have, as I said, if you put out a new moon manifestation that I am now Peter Gordon's boyfriend. That's very specific, right? And it depends on Peter, actually, if that's possible, right? So if he is not interested in you, the limitation that you have put on the universe now may make it impossible to bring him into your life. But it could be a person similar to him, right? A person similar to him. So, and again, it could be a job similar to something. It could be a house similar to some area, or it again. But the more you have put your mind specifically on something, the more restricted you are, the more restricted of a specific outcome you are. And that may be difficult for the universe, right, to bring that towards you. If the thing you're reaching for is not working in that direction. Because again, there's free will at that point too. So if it's a specific person, a specific job in a specific area or in a specific firm, you have limited down the outcome now. You can try to do that, of course. But it may take a while, right? You can put out the most impossible, you would say, the most impossible requests. Let's say, for instance, you say, I am Michael Jackson's wife, right? That is maybe for another lifetime then, right? But I'm just saying that it's whatever you're sending out is depending on the possibilities of this realm we live in. If you are requesting to be a wife of someone who is not living. You are challenging now the understanding of the third dimensional duality. So you are asking the universe to ask with a different realm, to work with a different realm. Otherwise, you can't have that connection. The third dimensional realm is limited with duality. We can escape duality in third dimension. So for you to be able to feel married, be married to Michael Jackson, for instance, whom we now here in the third dimension see as dead, that is not possible. It means that for you to have that experience, you need to get out of third dimension. That's the only way. Mentally, spiritually, physically, leaving this realm somehow. Otherwise, you can't have that. So what are you, how are you challenging the universe to bring something to you is also an interesting thing, right? In the third dimension, we believe that we have linear time. So if someone has died, they cannot return, right? Because now we are moving forward with time, and it's lost somehow. If you believe in the quantum physics understanding of time, it's a circular understanding. It means that all time is present at the same time. So actually I could tap in any moment of time where I am at this moment. So I could, if we talk about Michael Jackson, I could tap into the quantum field in the 70s and meet him there. You know, like Lisa Presley did, right? I could tap into that time and meet him there. But for that to happen, for that to be a possibility, you need to be able to live or be or connect with the fifth dimension. So if you're trying to resurrect someone, or resurrect in that way, you need to change from a third dimensional frequency into a higher frequency. Otherwise, you can't have that. The universe cannot bring it to you if you stay three-dimensional, because there's duality here. So it's not possible. If you stay 3D, it's not possible. Not in this current so-called lifetime. Because in the third dimension, we get born and we die. In the fifth dimension, not so much so, right? We are all somehow there. That's at least my understanding of it, right? And it's in spirit form, so it's not in human form. So this is maybe a little bit abstract, but I don't know why I'm saying this. Maybe some of you would have wanted to reconnect with someone who's not here anymore. Again, the roots, right? It's this idea of, but that's where I come from. It could be someone who is not living anymore, right? And you would rather want them to be here still. that you would want them to be here still. And the only way you can get that connection is by raising your frequency, allowing yourself to be more receptive to the spiritual realm, developing psychic gifts, or enter into a new life. But you're still in the third dimension then. That requires you to be reborn or reincarnate, and it requires this other person to reincarnate in a new person's body. So you would have a new body, they would have a new body, you will meet it up in a new life in the third dimension. Then you could become Mike Jackson's wife, sort of, right? But it's well, I'm stopping now. This is yeah. But I don't know why. So maybe someone is really missing someone here, and would want them to, that they were here somehow, that they were here, because maybe they feel like roots, right? That it could also be that someone has changed, right? Someone may have changed, and they seem different. And because that has happened, it's like, where did they go? Like the one I used to know is not standing in front of me. Like it's like I'm speaking to another version, and I miss the old one. I miss the old one. That could also be a thing, that I miss the old one. The old one I liked better. So again, maybe, I don't know, if someone has been doing a lot of shadow work, they may have changed their frequency, right? And either they feel like they're gone. It's like every time you talk to them, or every time they are around, what they are talking about, what they're interested in, it's like it's not what we usually, it's like the common ground has disappeared. We no longer have common ground. Like what you are interested in is so far away from me. It's like you exist in another world. That feeling. And maybe you literally, as I said, the root thing here is important. Maybe someone is trying to if we talk about a family, let's say one of the children really wants to get out of poverty, right? And they have ambition, and maybe they have skills, and they want to get out, and they actually succeed in that, meaning that they can now have a different lifestyle than the rest, right? And maybe they are, sending money home and so on, but it's still not changing the base of the rest of the family. But they are they're quite successful, right? They have maybe built a company here or something, and they're quite successful. But because they are in this realm now, juggling maybe big amount of money, and here we are, the rest of the family is struggling with just getting by. There is such a divide, right, between them. It's like we don't see eye to eye anymore. It's like it's the common ground between us the common understanding between us is gone. And I kind of miss the old one, right? I miss, if you are a sibling here, you miss the brother or the sister, right? You miss this connection you had with them. Or it feels like a loss, right? That I have lost the one I knew. At some point we were the same here, but now we are not. And I can't seem to, I feel a loss, right? I feel, or if you are the one climbing the ladder here, you are the one who got yourself a company. You're now looking back at a portion of your family members here, and you're kind of just saying, I can't relate to this. Like this, I wanted out and I took a chance, or I got myself out, and this is all up to it. It's my own success. It's my own success because here nobody seemed to want it to leave, right? Nobody seemed as if they could leave. But I'm leaving. And making that choice is like cutting your roots. It's like you cut something here to establish roots somewhere else. Bigger roots maybe, stronger roots, deeper roots, right? I don't know. So maybe there's something like that going on. Again, new moon can talk about new beginnings, new steps, new thoughts, maybe like seeing yourself with more value, or seeing yourself more confident, trusting in something more, or something, something like that. And actually taking action towards something, perhaps where your family, they would have advised you not to do that. It's way too risky and you can't do that. And what if you don't succeed, right? You could fall off the cliff and everything. Maybe you should just stay with the job you have. It's more secure and everything. But I get the feeling of someone not accepting that, right? And it's a bit like I said with the new moon ritual, like I'm not accepting that certain people out there believe that you can only pray in a certain way. You can only make a ritual in a certain way, right? That you cannot make your own. Like, there has to be, that you can like there is an understanding there that there are rules to something, right? There are rules to life. There's rules to sustainability, or there's a rule setting. And if you're not buying into that, you are on your own, right? Because you are no longer now included in the system or in the... You have to buy into it. Like you have to buy into that story, the programming you received, the money, the standard you received. If you identify with that, if you believe in it, this is where you will be. But if you are one of those people who say, no, I don't want to be limited to that. It must be possible to have a different outcome. Inside this box, you will probably be advised not to do that because it's unsafe or something. But if you believe that I can do this, there's more to life or something, you can try to break out of it. But when you break out of it, you are now discarding, right? You're discarding from something here, breaking from it, right? And there could be something about this, I want to say breakup, or that where you're second guessing yourself. Can I do this? Is this possible? What if something goes wrong? Like you feel this draw back and forth here, right? But I want to do it. Yeah, but what if something goes wrong? And the pull back and forth here. And the new moon, I think, is here to kind of tell us that, or make us look at this. Like look where you come from, perhaps, right? And then, could I have a new set of rules? It could even be that you come from an academic family, right? But in that family, it has always been, you've had luxury, you've had the best or the fashion clothes, everything was handed to you, right? Because there was a lot of money. You experienced all kinds of luxury vacations and high status, right? Because your father or mother were big achievers in the third dimensional world, right? And you were brought up to become someone like that. But actually, you don't like the business life. You are an artist, right? You want to live a different lifestyle. You are maybe in that regard a bit of an outcast, or like you don't really fit in there. You can't see yourself becoming some kind of manager. It's really not applying to you. You don't see it. Maybe you want to go down rank, you could say. You want to experience like real life, or you want to have I want to have an artistical life. I want to live with other artists. I want to be in that creative realm, and that is not appreciated where you come from, Just take it how it resonates. It's all about roots. It's something about connecting with the roots that seem right to you. Not what you were given, but what seems right to you. That something in you is kind of calling that forward somehow. So let's now have the cards here. Okay, I'm going to turn the cards here. So I have two cards here that talk about this, like seer abilities here. I don't know if this is, I don't feel like this is specifically that you are a seer. I feel more like seeing something quite clearly in your particular life. I get also a little bit of, you're seeing something quite clearly, but it's also something like an awareness that there's something you should do, something you can do, something that is innately in you that has maybe not been activated in this life yet. I get the feeling, as I said, like breaking out of a root net, I want to say, of maybe lower standard, if I can allow myself to say that, lower income, lower working class. You can still be working class, but it's what kind of work then is it that you're doing? Because we see how here someone is trying to climb a ladder towards something here, towards some kind of goal or achievement or enlightenment or something here, right? And it's almost like something is watching, right? That something big here is watching how you are climbing a ladder, or that you have, I see the seer here as someone who has been in hiding, needed to camouflage. We only see his head and a bit of the upper torso, otherwise he's actually been hiding, right? This feels a little bit like coming out of the closet somehow, with whatever it is that you are, right? Whatever it is that you maybe you have some kind of hobby, you have some kind of knowledge. As I said, maybe you are actually an artist, but because your parents, they are doctors, you also were inclined to pursue an academic line of work, maybe also becoming a doctor, right? But what you are actually longing for, and maybe where you really find your self-worth and confidence, is not being a doctor, right? So whatever this represents is something that may have been a bit hidden or unwanted in the group you grew up in. Maybe it's out of line again. As I said, it could be like maybe freedom is a big thing, that you could get out of those requirements, those set of rules, those limited beliefs perhaps, or limitations that you want to break free from, and you have actually a different goal, right? You want to go somewhere else, you want to be something else. That to embrace this is, whatever it is for you, is I've said before with the seer that, and again, take it how it resonates, but the seer, at some point in history, the seer was a haunted group of people. Kings wanted them, wanted to own them, and tie them down, right? Lock them up inside the castle, and they would go towards them if they needed an advice about some kind of strategy, maybe war strategy or something. So a seer would be someone who had certain abilities to know something, because that's who they are. This is an innate thing in them, that they have these qualities, and it could be used, right? So just take it how it resonates for you. But let's say you want to be a circus artist, and you grew up in an academic family, right, where the expectations of you is certainly not to travel around the world with, or the travel around the country with a circus artist, a group, right? You should not be someone like that. You are supposed to be more. At least that's what the talk in the family would be, right? They would send you to the most expensive college, the most expensive school, even to correct you, like to correct your wildness, perhaps, like to control something about you. They would, yeah, now I get correction facility, right? It's like they would make you like them, or they attempted to, right? To make you like them, more like them, to adapt their values, to identify with those values. And whatever this is for you, it's something that is it has always been hidden, right? This has always been hidden somehow. But let's say this has to do with sexuality. Maybe you are gay, and that has never really been accepted at all, so this has to be hidden. Maybe you got married and everything, you had kids and everything, right? Because that's what you do in that family or in that setting. That's normal, that is what we do. But it never really applied to you. So just take this how it resonates. It may be that you have certain psychic gifts. You were never given advice about them. You were never, maybe you never really trusted them also. Again, it's a hidden thing, like this is something I can only do if I'm alone, or again, the seer was could be exploited and used by people in power, right? So if you actually wanted to say, I am a seer, if we take this example, how would the world respond to that? A seer is very open psychically. It probably requires a certain sense of sensitivity. And because of that sensitivity, you can't sustain yourself in all environments. If it's very noisy, or again, the seer could be someone who lived in the outskirts of the village, keeping themselves away from people, because every time they look at one, they get a lot of information in. And a seer cannot choose, like they get everything, the good and the bad. They get the sorrows, the pain, the suffering, whatever this person has been like feeling, or and if they are asked questions about war strategies, they would see the suffering, they would see the war, they would see the killings, right? They would see all the blood, they would see the outcome of that war, and feel it. So that can be quite overwhelming, like put it into your situation. But something here that I don't know if it's threatening. Maybe it feels threatening to own this, whatever this is. Like if I really stand my ground and say this is what I want, I could be disowned. I could be thrown out of the family. I could be seen as the black sheep. I could be seen as a failure, right? Or it could be abused. It could be controlled, and so on, right? So saying yes to whatever this is a big thing. But again, I see it as, if you're not doing it, you are going against your biggest and brightest abilities, first of all, and beingness, but also maybe like life fulfillment, right? Your happiness, something like that. It's if you're not climbing that ladder, if you're not going there, if you're not pursuing it and you stay where you are, you will maybe regret it, right? It's almost like a life lesson, like you're supposed to take these steps here. You're supposed to do this. But again, you have free will, and you can you can choose not to. We have women holding a heart here, and it's interesting how they are kind of turning the back to each other here. Over here we have someone who is like watching and maybe saying, go towards your goal here, right? This can be a voice in you. Look at how big she is, and this little person here. It could be the feeling that like God is advising you. Something is advising you to go towards your most happiness here, right? Do that. And at the same time, we have a woman here who is turning her back to this one and is holding this big heart here. I see her, when I look at her, I always see her a little bit like she is actually shielding the heart, right? Like, no, I turn my back to it, but I'm looking at it. I'm looking, assessing if something is coming here, and then I keep this heart protected somehow, right? Sometimes I even see it as it's like something has already carved into this heart. All these hearts here. It looks a little bit like something has carved something, taken a bit of this heart. And someone here could be afraid, right? But I can't go like, the achievement here, the goal, the most happiness, or whatever this is, the most freedom, or whatever this is, and someone is trying to climb this ladder here. That could be an advice that climb the ladder. Go towards your utmost happiness here. At the same time, this one I feel is the one climbing here. It's like, yeah, but it's dangerous, right? To go there, it's kind of dangerous. I need to shield myself. I need to somehow shield myself from not taking a risk, an unnecessary risk. Maybe these steps are taken very slowly, right? And I'm keeping this heart safe because it has already been, there has already been taken bites of it. My attempt to get here I've already experienced broken hearts, or I've already experienced disappointments or sadness or something. So I'm taking these steps quite slowly, and I'm always looking over my shoulder here. It can be that someone is saying no to the challenge here, the life challenge, and because they want to keep safe somehow, but they are still lingering, right? They're still looking over here. What if I did this? I'm still longing for it, right? I protect myself to stay safe, but I'm still, I can't seem to shake it, right? It's like there is something here that I should do, or it feels like a calling or something, that but I don't dare to do it. So if I want to approach this, I really have to do it slowly, because I have already been hurt. I can't risk myself, right? I can't, but at the same time still looking, right? Out of the corner of the eye, still looking towards it, right? Still looking towards this one climbing, right? Longing for it, or hoping that I want to be brave and go towards it, but right now I'm maybe not that brave, or I'm considering how to do this. We have solutions here, and it's right above this card of the woman who is protecting her heart here. So maybe you're looking for solutions, right? You're looking for solutions. How can I somehow have success here? How could I go towards the goal that I'm actually looking for? It says here, success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So this could talk about, maybe taking things slow, right? Maybe taking things slow, because I feel like what is here, what the thing that is your utmost, happiness here is maybe, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a love connection, right? Maybe it's unconditional love you're seeking. That's why the heart is here, right? That it has already been hurt here, right? So I'm not willing yet to, I don't know, put myself on the dating scene, or I'm not willing to take that risk, but I'm still kind of longing for it. Or what if I'm not doing it, right? What if if I turn my back to this, I can't have this, right? Then I can't have this. And it's like there's a part of you somehow that is calling you, right? This guy here, it's like and this could have been in hiding, as I said, but it's still calling you, right? It's still calling you forward. But there could be this feeling of needing to protect yourself. I can't quite trust it, or if I actually do this, or if I actually take this stance, how am I supposed to maybe sustain yourself? Or if I get eliminated from my family, for instance, or something else that you rely on, what am I supposed to do then? How am I supposed to keep myself safe here? You're looking for solutions here, and you can ask the universe for solutions here. That would be perfect for a new moon. But again, as I said, look deeper, look into your heart. What is it truly that you want? Right? Maybe it's not like the billionaire thing is great, but usually becoming a billionaire also requires work. It requires a lot of attentions to different details, right? Unless you win the lottery, right? But becoming a billionaire, working your way up through a hierarchy, becoming a CEO or a business owner, $1 million business owner, usually it requires certain steps to get there, right? And unless you win the lottery. Maybe you hope that you can just win the lottery here. Or, as I said, go a little bit deeper. What is it about this idea of the billionaire that is attractive? What is it you expect that a billionaire, what kind of life is it that they have that you are longing for, that you hope for here? What is actually success, freedom, or happiness here for you? Become very clear on that, what that is, right? Maybe actually deep down this has to do with love, right? Acceptance, support. Maybe it has to do with that kind of connection, that this is actually what you're looking for. So just become aware of what that is. And solution is that you are looking for solutions, how to somehow how to somehow elevate yourself somehow. I take now the drivers here. These are the bottom of the deck. Cards at the bottom of the deck. It's just because this is what I call the drivers. Something in you is driving this forward, this process forward for you. So I get the Holy Mountain and the Seer. To me, when I look at these two, it's like I want to say it has to be probably maybe religious or maybe spiritual here. Like the seer is not the seer without psychic gifts. Some of the psychic gifts usually we see with the hermit. The hermit goes alone to the top of the mountain, being closer to the heavens, seeking guidance. I said that the seer sometimes lives at the outskirts of the village because sensory impressions are too much for him. So this again would be very seer-like, that you have to be alone. You live more isolated. You connect with the spiritual realm. Again, the purple here is crown chakra. So there is something here that is the hermit idea of being alone, seeking for enlightenment. That's what the hermit does. It goes alone with the little lantern in his hand, climbing the mountain to be closer to the gods or to wisdom. Maybe that there's something here that you want to do or be. Maybe you want to become, this can be a priest, right? That is someone who is looking to speak to God, perhaps, right? Maybe you want to become a priest here. But that has not been something done in your family, right? It's the characteristic here, I feel like, is that it's something that your family or your roots would maybe not appreciate. They would not understand it. They would not understand what kind of thoughts someone is dealing with here. This can be thoughts of the universe, right? Thoughts of the greater purpose of being here. Who am I? It could be the search for God. It could be something like that. Big questions. It could be, I want to solve the mystery of the universe mathematically or physically, or I want to be a physicist. I want to explore the laws of the universe. Things like something big like that. Big questions here. But it could simply be, who am I? Like, I want to know who I am, and you're discovering something here, perhaps. You're discovering whatever this is, somehow. And this has been a driver in you for a long time, perhaps. It has now gotten you to this situation now here. Here we have awakened awareness. Again, that comes with the mountain here, seeking questions. I have the awakened awareness is like something in you is stirring. It's awakening something in you. And it has been a driver forward to kind of, get you to this point now, right? Nine of Gabriel and attachment we have over here. Stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility, and environmental activism. So this is like the Nine of Wands. Keep moving forward, or keep fighting for what it is that you want. And you're looking for solutions here, right? How do I get myself out? As I said, if you come from very poor family structures, and the life standard is rather poor. If you have another ambition, you should not give up on it here, right? Stay determined and move forward, it says here. And it is fire energy, so this is something about a willpower. It's something about like wanting to. This is the solar plexus, right? It's the go-getter energy. It's something that is. Nine of Wands can be quite exhausting. That you have been on a work path for a long time, and it may feel like I don't know if I can keep this up, right? Maybe that's why she's holding the heart here, because it has been an exhausting journey for now, and you're looking for solutions to a situation here, right? A situation you've gotten yourself in, or a situation your family is in. Again, attachment here, being attached to something. Again, the well-being of the entire family, right? And maybe you felt like you should do something, because otherwise we could end up starving, right? We could end up dying here, and being attached to that. That is actually maybe what's causing your caution here. Because I'm attached to my family, perhaps. I can't just leave them, right? I can't just be this solo climber here and leave them behind, right? I have a responsibility. I feel connected to them, right? I'm still turning my back to this climb because I'm attached to them, or I'm attached to a certain outcome here. I want it to be in a certain way. But the attachment here, I feel like, is probably a bit exhausting. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is, well, it's like you have been carrying a heavy weight on your shoulder for a long time. Once it seemed like it was okay, but over time it has become quite heavy. Not to say that you should go, like give up on it, but it's just when the solution card here, it's like I see her as like the attachment and maybe the connection to, let's say, a family. This can be children, right? It can be anything that kind of keeps you, where this looks more like, as I said, a solo climb. I am leaving. Like I'm leaving, the only one who chooses to leave this situation behind. That I choose to go somewhere else. And when I do that, I'm kind of breaking with the roots I come from. And when I do that, it may feel like you are like treason somehow, like you are a traitor, right? You are leaving others. You're leaving others to starve, and you go for the luxury meal on your own. You know, something like that. So you are struggling with the attachment to where you come from, the roots you come from. But she's very, like, still lured in here by, but what if I could climb this mountain here? What if I could get like this amazing job, and I could elevate myself there? But the process to take this action means that you may feel like you need to break with whatever you are attached to here. And you're looking for some solutions, because I think you are worn out. Like that, there's something here that is wearing you out. I know these cards, they're very positive usually. They always have positive comments here. And he's actually smiling. Stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility and environmental activism. Yeah, be prepared for any possibility. So what kind of solutions does the universe bring to you here? It says here, success that comes from objective compromise. Right, so maybe you need to change your a direction, or the solution you may have thought you should pursue is maybe not what you are actually supposed to do, especially if you are worn out here. Again, the attachment card. Look at how gray this is. I see it a little bit like, again, she's chained to something here, if you can see that, and she's holding this mask, like, I'm supposed to be a specific role. I'm supposed to work in the field like my father, right? I'm supposed to be there, but it's hurting me somehow, right? She's actually holding her heart more towards the attachment than she is, and she's still turning her back here. But she gets more and more lured towards this, because this seems too exhausting, I think. And it takes bites out of her heart. Maybe it's becoming more and more difficult to be loyal to this, right? It's a too big of a hard cost. Like your love for your family, for instance, and loyalty towards your family and where you come from, this is becoming too much of a cost for you. It's becoming more and more difficult. You're looking for other solutions here. To somehow maybe still be loyal to the family, but at the same time also pursue something here. Maybe on your own. I get like a solo climb here. Like I know that I can't get whatever is here. I can't get them with me. Like they will not understand why I would do this. But it's like there's something in you that is calling for a change. I think it's because it becomes more and more a cost for you. It's draining, I think. It's draining your energy. It's draining your love, you could say, the commitment of something here is too draining. What you have been committed to, chained to, committed to. This can be certain belief systems, right? That you have been committed to them, and you have put your heart in it, and you have had all your loyalty and your identity there. But it's like she is still looking over here to have her own freedom with whatever area this may represent to you. Maybe, and again, this is you walking alone. So this could be, I want to climb this mountain, but I know that my family is not coming, right? Being here, if I do this, I'm on my own, right? I will not have any support there, but it's calling me, right? This is a driver in you. It's something that is calling you to do this, even though, your protective mechanisms in you say no, it's too dangerous, but then I lose my family, or they will discard me, right? I will be an outcast. I will be alone here also. Alone. I will be on my own. If I pursue this, whatever it is, I will be on my own. I can't expect that they will ever be there for me. I will be on my own, but I will pursue something that should be my own happiness here. And it's becoming more and more, right? It's awakening more and more in you, this longing or this memory, maybe like a memory of something. It's becoming more and more apparent somehow, but you're still perhaps like shielding yourself from it, right? A bit. You're still not prepared to open up to this fully, but it becomes more and more appealing to you, more and more, and you're kind of looking for some kind of answers, whether this would be a good approach for you, right? Whether you should do it. And I think it has come to a point where I want to say it seems more appealing than this. Like over here, well, there is something here, and you have had your heart in it. But I also see how that it is almost like it has taken bites out of the heart. You know, like something is feeding off your heart here, and it's becoming more and more apparent that. And at some point, a big bite was taken here, right? And I just see it a little bit like she's preserving this heart to the best of her ability somehow to preserve it, but the attachment here is still the loyalty and something. It's too, I feel like it's too much of a cost. It drains you. It's a loyalty and a devotion into something that is really not it's not allowing you to be who you are here, to go your own way, or to be like to trust the little voice in you here, or the whatever this is, the artist in you, or the dance, you know, like the dancer in you, or but this just represents something that is it has no value in the world you grew up in. It's looked at as something unwanted, undesirable, bad, something like that. And again, remember, if you grew up in an artistic home with a mother who was an opera singer and a father who was a painter or something, they would probably have encouraged your creative abilities. But if you grew up in an academic home with both your parents are surgeons, or the roots is usually drawing up a map, right? A roadmap to follow somehow. But it doesn't mean that it's right for you, right? It's this feels, it calls to me in an innate way, like something that is innately you. This is who you are, not what you do. So this is not work, this is who you are. Like this is something in you that is, this is your DNA, right? This is who you are. It's not what you could work with. Well, it could be, but again, if you are literally a dancer in you, of course you can become a dancer and you can earn your money by dancing. But this is who you are. right? It's not something you are becoming. It's innately built into you. That's what I see here. It's something I almost want to say you can't escape it. It's a part of you. Even the seer here is trying to hide himself, right? Not to be found by the king's men or something. So they're keeping it a secret. They are not showing it to the world. They just know stuff here, the seer, right? But just take it how it resonates. It can be anything here. You grew up in an academic home, right? And you were urged to become an academic, to pursue college and university, get yourself like into a job with high salary, responsibilities, a lot of knowledge, right? But maybe you love baking, right? You would love to have your own bakery down the corner. But that would be working class, right? And that's not what you were not brought into this world to become a working class member, right? That's the roots you get with you from your parents or family is usually the roadmap, right? And we get accustomed to it. It's familiar to us. But I'm just saying this is like the little voice in you that says, but I don't really belong here. I'm not this. I'm something else. Or I'm not only this, I'm also something else. Again, the duality of our world. I'm not only this, I'm also something else. And I want to have time to pursue that also, right? Maybe you're looking for solutions to have both, right? But being attached to something and having freedom here alone is like two opposite things, right? So I feel like the new moon is maybe encouraging you to really have a look at what kind of roots you want to water. What kind of roots do you want to fertilize? Somehow I also get the feeling from the woman here that if I never do this, like if I shield myself forever, and I never go towards this, I will never know, will I? I will never know if I could succeed. I will never know if I would actually find the happiness here. I would never know what's at the top of the mountain here. I would never know what it means to be enlightened if that's the case. It's like I can't. It's like she has gotten a glimpse of something, and now it's like she can't not see that glimpse. Somehow she has seen some kind of glimpse here of perhaps happiness or love or accomplishment or enlightenment or whatever this is. And it's like she can't turn it off, like it's still calling her. That's the awakened awareness, right? It's like you can't, if you have seen this, it's like you can't turn it off, like because it's allowing her to detach from something here. It's allowing for some kind of freedom, and therefore she can't not look, like it's appealing, but she's still kind of frightened or maybe not ready to take that step yet. Maybe that's what the new moon is saying to you. Send it out there, and we'll try to come in with the solutions for you here. But be open also. Be open to that there could be many different ways to achieve this. Right? The things you want to achieve really deep down, there can be many roads towards that. Many steps you could take. As long as you take some, right? As long as you take some, and instead of staying attached to something else here. I don't know if she's procrastinating, like if she's not taking any steps, just staying attached here to something. But making the steps is scary, right? If you have always been attached to something here, it could be scary because you will be on your own. Again, it can, maybe this is, this is a totally different career path than your family has done. So they cannot help you, right? Even if they are supporting you, they can't help you. They have no knowledge in that area. You will be on your own. You will seek that knowledge on your own here. Because nobody in your family understands. They don't have this interest. They are not, as I said, maybe they're doctors, right? And you want to become, I don't know, you want to become an artist, for instance, right? But that area, there's nobody in your family who has ever pursued something like that. Right? They have always pursued jobs where there is a plan and there is a yes and no answer to things. And the area you want to pursue here is something that is fluid and emotional, and there's no real yes and no answer. It's a different world, you could say. Yeah, it's like there is one world over here that consists of something, and what it is that she had a glimpse of something here. And that glimpse, it's like she can't not look at it. And it's like another world is opening for, like, in front of her, and she's supposed to take, or I don't know if she's supposed to, but it's maybe it's an illusion, not illusion, solution, and she is considering whether it is an illusion, right? It could be that a solution is here for you, but you may see it as an illusion. You're not trusting it. But you still see the glimpse of something. There's a potential here. There's potential for something, and she can't not look at it. Because it has the ability to take her out of a situation. So she cannot not look at it. Considering whether she should do this or not. Probably being alone. It's a solo thing. She can't expect any kind of help from this area, any kind of understanding, any kind of support. You see, something like that. What can be done? I feel like, because it's like they're staying over here, someone would say, go, do it. And here you say, no, I don't dare. That's why they have their back turned to each other here. I want to have a card about this, the middle here. What can be done about this? Can they ever find each other? Can they ever? Because it feels a little bit like both of them are a bit fixed. On this side, we have one way of seeing life, and they would say, of course, pursue it. Just do something. Take the stand. Make a step. And over here you have someone equally as fixed saying, no, it's not safe. So I'm not doing it. But I'm still attracted to it, right? What can be done in between these two here? Oh, interesting. Look at this. Broken heart. The reason why something is not pursued, you could say, here, is because the heart has been broken. As I said, it's like bites has been taken out of this heart here. It's not quite whole. The heart, well, when you have a broken heart here, you usually have that because at some point you experienced disappointment, right? At some point you experienced hurt. You experienced an overwhelming sadness here, grief even, right? And because of that, you're not trusting. You're not trusting that something out here could be good for you, right? The broken heart keeps you attached or codependent into some other story here, or some other, I don't know, with other people here perhaps. Now I understand why she's shielding her heart, right? There has been taken bits out of it. A big one here. And right in the core, right? It's like, I don't feel maybe confident enough or whole enough. I don't feel whole enough to pursue something here. I'm not sure I can do it. I'm not sure I can do it. This broken heart here keeps you from not trusting that you have what it takes. Again, this could have really hurt your confidence and your trust in new options here. Again, maybe that's why the seer is hiding here, because at one point maybe it was shown, it was part of you, but it was shamed. I said it's an unwanted thing. This is something unwanted. Like it's not given value, right? So of course it's hiding. It's a part of you, but it's hiding. Maybe you have shown it once and it was totally like disregarded and hated. Maybe everyone around you hated it, so you had to hide it. But during that, it broke your heart, right? You couldn't be accepted fully for who you are here. That this is equally a part of you as everything else. So maybe you are an achieved doctor and you pursued that world, but deep down you're also an artist, right? And you want to be able to paint or write that book or write poems or whatever this is. You want to pursue that as well. And that should be equally respected and accepted around you, right? That this is equally a part of your personality. But it was not accepted, right? This is something that was totally unwanted, discriminated. It was seen as the black sheep. This is something without value, but it's a part of you that is calling for you, right? It's calling for you to pursue it anyway, because there is a sense of wholeness here. Like if you could somehow connect more with whatever this is here, it could probably take you out of that kind of misery. It could lead you to a sense of more happiness or healedness, right? It would help you heal your heart here if you connect more with it. But it has been discriminated before and it broke your heart. that you could not be accepted for who you are, all of you. So you're keeping it a secret here. Maybe literally you were threatened, right? You were threatened. Maybe you were assaulted, right? I don't know. But it's something that broke your heart, that because you are this, because it's something innately inbuilt in you, because you are this, you could not be accepted. It was totally unwanted, not something to be pursued. You were advised against it, or not even advised, maybe threatened not to do this. And it broke your heart here. And because you have experienced that already, you are not just jumping in, right? You're not jumping in just like that. You're looking at it. You are contemplating solutions here. How to implement some of this in your life, I think. Or how to pursue something, but without breaking your heart even further, right? It's almost like preserving what's left. Preserving what's left here. So if I pursue this, and potentially there is a great healing possibility here, I think. But if I pursue it, I still have to be able to preserve what I have left. And again, if I'm very loyal to whatever this is, going towards this is going to break my heart. It will maybe break other people's heart that I'm leaving, right? But it will also break my heart to see that they are not supporting me, perhaps. So either way, I'm kind of stuck. Either way, I'm kind of stuck. Or at least I feel split, right? A part of my heart wants to pursue this, a part of my heart needs to stay, and it breaks my heart to feel so much imbalance here. You know, like one part of the heart wants to stay and one part wants to pursue this. And it's heartbreaking not to be able to do what you truly want or what you are here. Act and be who you are. It breaks your heart to somehow exist in two worlds. And maybe that's also why I feel it's very draining. It consumes a lot of energy. It's like you have roots in two different worlds. And maybe the new moon is asking you to, or you are hoping that there can be some kind of solution, because it's draining. I think the solution, though, should come from you. Like you're the only one who can make this the change here. But neither way, you will experience some kind of exposure. You will experience a reaction from here. And from this world, you will feel misery. If you're not pursuing it, you will feel misery. So either way, your heart is... Yeah. I don't know if I would say it's at risk. I actually feel there's potential to heal this a lot here. But I get it. I understand why we could feel this dissonance and this split loyalties somehow. Can we have an advice on maybe this split loyalty feeling? This But it's also like you have, because you have split loyalties, if that's, I feel like I'm connecting with that, split loyalties here. It's like your heart is not fully present in either of them. And I think that is what you need to do. Like, the split loyalty here is actually hurting you. And you know that if I choose this, I will never figure out if I could actually have done this. And if I choose this, I will probably need to split with my family. And either of them is not good, right? You're not sure. This area, you're not sure whether you can trust it. Can I sustain myself here, perhaps, right? Can I earn money here? What if it's a total failure? Right? So you are kind of part of two worlds, I feel like. And the new moon is saying that maybe you should take a stand. Or at least you can send it out there, right? You can send it out there that you have made up your mind. That you have made up your mind. Usually we say that there can be around a half-year cycle for something to manifest itself. As I said, it depends on how impossible your wishes are, right? But let's say you send out to the universe now that you have made up your mind what to pursue here. So within the next half year, something will come in that will help you decide whether you want to stay here or here. And then again, it's up to you. What do you do with those solutions? Yeah, it feels a little bit like split loyalties. Like you're living two lives at the same time, or you're contemplating to do so, right? Over here this becomes more and more evident. It's awakened in you. It's like you can't not see it. And you are looking towards it, right? She is looking towards it, but she's still shielding herself. She has split. Her loyalty is not quite and it's hurting her, right? It's hurtful and draining, and to feel that you may need to split your life like that. Or there has been some kind of situation from the past where you showed some of this and it was totally unwanted, and that broke your heart. And therefore you are reluctant to go there now because you knew what happened. You remember what happened last time, right? Last time you showed some of this, you were overwhelmed by some kind of force that pushed you down, right? And you have a memory of this, and therefore you are reluctant to go there. And that makes sense, of course, right? We don't want to be in a threatening situation. This is what I see, right? What could help in this situation here with maybe the split loyalty, or the old memories here of something? What could help here? What could help someone out who experiences a situation like this? So I get the Empress here. Well, the Empress is feminine, and we have woman holding a heart here, so it could be a feminine trait with you. As I said, psychic gifts with the seer here. Maybe you do have some very strong feminine traits in you that and we have a woman here holding a mask here. So maybe you have been covering up some kind of feminine traits here. And you are Taurus, right? I make a reading about the new moon in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, right? So maybe we have a Venus here that has been playing roles, unwanted roles, that is not you, right? And it's really hurtful for you, right? The Empress here is definitely feminine, very feminine, extremely feminine. There could be something about really opening up to, it says here, time to act upon your plans, creativity is rewarded, luxurious and abundant resources. I feel like you could tap into Venus energy here and really I don't know, like if you're a man here, I would say maybe you would benefit from being, like a drag queen. Like, get your inner Empress out here, right? Let her be seen, let her be shown. The Empress is quite magnetic. She knows how to draw things to her that is beneficial for her. We see the Empress is usually shown as a pregnant woman, like she is birthing something. It says here again, time to act upon your plans. She is a birther of things. She's a birther of babies. She's a birther of projects. She has the ability to create something from the womb, you could say, from the sacral chakra, right? She is a creator herself. Now I actually get more and more tuned in on like an artist of some sort, an artist, the creative side of life, right? A repressed feminine thing here that has never, or maybe you have shown it at some point, but it seemed like that was not something to pursue, right? In your family, you were told this is not something you can pursue. Becoming a painter, you cannot sustain yourself with that. You need a proper education. You need a good, solid job, something reliable. You cannot pursue something like that. We are not allowing you to do that. Right? But this is what I feel like. Get in tune with that inner thing in you. Try to tune in on the feminine thing in you. So something creative, something, well, if we talk about feminine energy, feminine is usually more quiet. It can be meditative. It can be it doesn't have to be a dancer. Is quite active, right? But when let's say you are a creator of music here, lyrics or music, usually the tone is not coming in the midst of a lot of noise. The tone comes to you when you sit alone, when you are more by yourself here. The tune and the words come to you when you are undistracted from some other kind of noise or activity. So let's say you have a big artist in you, actually, and maybe it's time to get that out a little bit. Again, the new moon, it maybe open that door. It could be a door that has been closed for a very long time, but you are opening it, or you could open it with the new moon here again. You could say that in your new moon manifestations, you could have something like, I am an empress, or I am my own empress. I am owning who I am, right? I'm owning who I really am. I'm opening the door to my inner empress, right? Something like that. And then you allow for the universe to work with this energy over the next 6 months, and you see where you get. What has shown itself? What kind of solutions could show up for you? What kind of doors seems like they want to open? Maybe you suddenly stumble across some kind of drawing course, or a yoga retreat somewhere, or someone invites you to join some kind of meditation group or something, right? And maybe you just sit, well, I don't know if that's for me, but you may do it anyway, right? Something like that. Maybe a colleague of you says, well, I'm going to this spa retreat next week. Do you want to come, right? Or you figure out where you want to go on your own here. Maybe you take that spa retreat, right? On your own. Right? Maybe you decide to do that. Or you seek some kind of inspiration in a meditative realm, or the feminine is usually less active. It's where the masculine is very active. The feminine can be more silent, the masculine can be more noisy. The feminine can be, well, feminine in its movements, right? It's more fluid, organic, where the masculine approach can be a little more harsh, or something like that. The feminine is known to be round, the masculine is known to be squared. The masculine is more yes and no. The feminine is kind of more fluid somehow in its approach to something. So maybe to get more of this out in the open for you, that you want to explore this in yourself. Maybe you're doing it silently, like you're not saying anything to anyone, you're doing it on your own here. Maybe this has to do with sexuality, sensuality. Maybe it has to do with the feminine body, if you are a feminine, but everything that related to your body was shamed somehow, hidden. Again here, maybe you were forced to wear certain clothes. You couldn't wear, makeup, or you couldn't go that way. Maybe you were, I said something in the Capricorn reading about maybe you were forced to wear a burqa, right? Not to show yourself, not to explore that part of yourself, that the feminine part is unwanted. It's fragile, it's weak, it's maybe even impure, right? only a virgin is pure, right? But otherwise women are not. It's impure. It's not. It's vulnerable. It's actually unwanted. In this world we live in, we need to be more like a man. Like something like that. You have to be more stronger and something like that. So embracing this would be embracing a more gentle side, a feminine, a more heart-based side. Again, the heart here, a more heart-based side of you, perhaps. So here we have to identify with the Empress. This is something about, she's not just a woman, she's an Empress. The Empress she embraces all four elements, all four queens in tarot. It means that she has all of them: earth, fire, water, air. So she is a queen of air, a queen of water, a queen of fire, and a queen of pentacles, earth, you could say. She has become a queen of all of them, meaning she has confidence, right? She knows about her feelings. She has good empathic skills. She is caring. She also has her own will. And she can manifest, meaning that she can turn some of all of this into practical, earthy matter, money, for instance. And she can do so because she has a magnetism, like she is able to draw something towards her that she needs. She is a birther of something. As I said, she is a creator of something. So there is something about getting in tune with the inner creator in you. And she's not just a little simple one. She's an empress, right? She is. This is one of the last cards of the journey of the Fool in tarot. You have reached a state of knowledge and understanding here, how to be on earth and how to get the things that you want, create the life that you want. So getting in tune with that inner creator in you, even if it has been shamed, even if you really broke your heart once because of it. The way to healing or happiness you're looking for is through this, I think. That's the advice. It is through the feminine. The feminine can also be a place of self-care, like building up your own confidence again. Maybe not with the help of something over here, but with yourself. We see this like she is the pregnant woman, meaning that she is a mother to come, right? Or a mother to be. And she has to take, as a pregnant woman, she has to take care of herself, her body. She has to rest more, perhaps. She cannot, at least in the last period of pregnancy, she cannot not move that fast, right? She has to rest more. She has to get ready to put her plans or her baby into the world. So she is someone who can create, and I feel like you should trust that inner creator, whatever it is. You should trust that one. I have touched upon many of like the artistic things, like the And the artistic things is linked to the feminine, the creative part of us. Painting, writing, singing, writing lyrics, being a writer, or being a, well, maybe content creator, like I am here. I create some kind of content. Maybe you are a content creator here, I don't know. Maybe you want to be, right? Maybe you want to, you have some kind of hobby here. I know on YouTube, let's say you have a hobby where you're making your own jewelry, right? And you start to make more of them and sell them, but you also make videos on YouTube how to do it, or maybe I know some people, the gamer community. Let's say you like gaming Minecraft. I know that there are several out there who upload videos where they play the Minecraft field, and they, if they are very good at it, they will have followers. People will watch their videos and see what they're doing, and in that way they become a content creator. But it can be a way of earning your money, right? If you have enough followers, you will be eventually paid by YouTube, right? So pursuing something here that you have maybe always wanted, and you know innately it's part of you, you could turn that into money somehow. I feel like that's what I see here. You could turn it into money. Somehow. I don't know exactly how. I'm just seeing that something that was your greatest loss or greatest sorrow or grief could actually become your greatest happiness, I think. But you need to take the steps towards it, and that is probably where we feel the fear, right? And we may not trust it and this stuff. But the Empress here, she's not negotiating, right? What she would like to birth, she goes for. She has the confidence to stand up towards non-believers and all this stuff. She doesn't care, really. If she want to birth something, she's going towards it anyway, without whatever people may say here. She's not attached to something that should keep her down, or that there's really not something called good and bad creation. If we look at the world and we believe that God has created all of it, we could be able to point something out and say, but a serial killer is bad, right? How could God create that? It's because God really doesn't care. It's a creation. As well as the saint is a creation. It's just like in the 3D world, we would see it as good or bad. We would see it as a threat or something to our own survival. So therefore, we would see it as good and bad. But in spirit realm, there is no such thing as a threat. It doesn't exist. So you have everything you could imagine in this world is just a creation. It's a creation, equally a creation. There are no emotions attached to it or no judgment attached to it. It's just a creation. And that's how she is. She is, but what I want to create, I want to create. We could see her a little bit as like the mother god, right? That she is the feminine creator. So what she puts into the world, she loves, no matter what it is. And she doesn't care if others do not like it. It's her baby, right? So she would do anything for it, right? It's that kind of thing. So even if others don't like it, and you have been judged for it at some point, or I don't know, threatened or hunted down, or as I said, the seer in earlier lifetimes was exploited for it. Even if you have experienced that, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. I want to say it doesn't mean that it's wrong. That expression, or what you have here, artistic expression, creator, it's not wrong. It can never be wrong in this world we have. How can it be wrong? If we say it's wrong, we should say at the same time that God is wrong, if we believe God created the world with everything in it. Then God is wrong. God is bad or something, right? But this idea about what is good and bad, I addressed that also in the Pisces reading. I believe that it's simply because we are in a human form, and the form can die. In the third dimension, we cannot escape duality of life and death, mortal and immortal. We cannot like light and darkness, good and bad, up and down, thick and thin. It's everywhere. In the third dimension, where we are in human form, we cannot escape it. It's everywhere. And because it's everywhere, we as a species have decided that some of it is good and some of it is bad. The things that are bad, they threaten us. They threaten our survival. They threaten that we can make our species survive, that we can put in new seeds, children, and make them survive. That is a part of the human condition. And in the third dimension, we cannot escape duality. It's everywhere. So when you faced that something was considered bad, worse, evil, maybe even, that this is an evil thing in you, you can never ever let this out. Unwanted, totally unwanted and discarded. It broke your heart here. Because there is no such thing as a perfect human being. We have, as the third dimension describes, good and bad in us. But who is judging what is good and bad? Your parents? Who gave them the right to judge that? Where does it come from? The Bible? I don't know. But where does it come from? Right? So the roots of something, where does the roots of the Bible come from? Someone wrote something down once. Where did it come from? So again, the roots of existence and the roots of judgment, the roots of the human condition, the duality, it's all something to be taken into account if you are considering your roots. This feels unloving, right? It doesn't feel like you, it's very gray, less color, it's very colorless. Maybe you're someone who really loves color. As I said, maybe you were given a burqa, right? This is what to wear. But you actually love fashion, right? you would love making like these like drag outfits, wear all the makeup and the big colored wigs and everything, something like that. This feels very colorless, less imagination, very limited somehow. Maybe you have a very fiery like imagination, fantasy thing going on here. And you could be an amazing creator. We see he's painted here with like color paint. Maybe you are a makeup artist, right? Maybe you could be beautiful makeup artist here. I don't know. Who secretly likes to, like use colors here, face paint or makeup or something. I don't know what it is for you, but this is what I see, like the creative feminine side, something that is innately you. It's becoming more and more evident for you. She can't really not look. The loyalty is still split. But I think the new moon, you could use this energy, this door opening now with this new moon to kind of feel more secure about your future choices, right? Work on becoming more confident in what it is that you want to be in life, right? Be. Not necessarily do, but be. Your innate beingness. But again, you have free will. You can do whatever you want. I just see the door open here. I see the new moon is kind of wanting you to like embrace who you are, right? Embrace who that is. And if you don't feel brave enough yet, maybe ask the new moon to make you more brave, right? To use the door now opening to become more confident, to build up your value, your self-value, right? To be brave to take the new steps and so on. Keep it in first tense and just a simple ritual. Take a cleansing bath with the new moon. Ask the new moon energy to cleanse everything off that really is not serving you, that holds you back somehow, that makes you second guess yourself. If you have loyalty issues here, that you feel split loyalty, maybe that's what you're using the new moon energy to help settle your loyalty energy here. To like connect with the creator in you here and settle these loyalty issues. Yeah, something like that. This is what I have for you with this new moon reading. Is beautiful. Empress is here. Taurus energy. Really just talk to her. Ask her into your life. Ask her to join you and be part of your life and whisper to you something you could do here, right? Again, this is crown chakra here. Purple, right? Maybe that's what you want to do. Actually, you believe in, I don't know, maybe this is a shaman, right? That maybe you want to work with Gaia energy, Mother Gaia energy. Maybe you want to be her, or be with her, like work with her. Maybe you want to give grace to the earth and appreciation for everything she gives to us. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe that's what you want to do, right? You want to have that kind of, that feels more right to you than pursue the coin, right? That maybe that gives you a more of a feeling of wholeness and balance and happiness. right? Maybe you want to be a healer. That, I don't know. It's up to you. But I feel like there's definitely a feminine touch to this, with the woman holding a heart, the woman here feeling attached, the Empress here. It's almost like, when I look at this card, it's like, this is the Empress, right? She has so much potential. She's so big. She has so much potential. And she's watching you here. She's watching this woman here, being all cramped up or tied up here and attached to something small, right? Trying to climb its way out of a dark hole here, right? But this is the one you could get in tune with. You could talk to her here, help you become more like her, right? We say the moon also represents the feminine, right? Moon is Cancer energy, a feminine, watery, emotional, heart-based energy. Maybe it's an invitation to work more with the feminine, Mother God, or I don't know what it is for you, but the feminine side of you, activating her in you, right? Activating her in you to help, like you could ask her to guide you, right? Help you to guide you, and it will come. Something will come, show up, but it's just whether you would take those steps towards it, right? If you feel certain enough to trust it. That's what I feel like is here with this new moon. I wish you very well, all of you out there. Take care of yourself. This could definitely be like a shadow element, right? That she is a shadow element in your life that has not come to fruition yet. So I just want to say, embrace yourself with everything that's in you. Embrace yourself with all of it. None of it is bad per se, like that. And don't let anyone else's judgment keep you small or down. She would never do that, right? Whatever she creates, she loves. Right? And nothing should make her feel unworthy or bad or something here. So just take a look at those who make horror films. It's a creation, right, to make a horror film. And people are watching it. Right? But someone made that story. Someone thought about the characters, created them, drew them, perhaps, right? It's still a creation. It's not, and it's available for us. We can rent that movie, right? And I don't think that the author of such story or that book, or those who draw the characters, those who put words into, who create the personality with words, right? Who write about them, think about how they feel and what kind of urges they have and everything. I don't think of them as bad people, right? I don't see them as bad people. but they have still created this thing. It's not bad, is it? Well, I don't know. It's just people rent it. They see it. They get a thrill out of it. They feel the excitement. They feel the scare of something. Because if something gets too pretty here in the third dimension, we get bored. We need the little excitement. We need this little spark, right? We say we love the hero, but we also kind of love the villain. There's no hero without the villain. So, right? You see, and that's the scenario I feel like. Maybe this is turning up because you feel bored in your life. Maybe it's here because you feel bored. That the life you live, it's without color, right? There's nothing especially fun about it. It lacks life, color, vitality, and what is coming here can bring that. But again, it may confront every fear in you, right? Or any kind of judgment from the outside world. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. So I feel like just own that creation, right? If you want to bring something forth, own it. Try to own it. Yeah, this is what I have. I hope this helped. Take care of yourself out there. Love and light to you all. Bye-bye.